Why are you suffering from aches, pains and illnesses? When there's help for you. At Health Service Center, we offer a wide range of treatment that has been scientifically proven to help you with your aches, pains and illnesses. Our ICT machine is one of the most effective devices in the health field. It has shown positive results in many health problems, such as back pains, shoulder pains, migraine headaches, pain in the knees and legs, poor circulation, arthritis, diabetic neuropathy, numbness in the feet, strokes and sports injuries. ICT, repairs, rebuild. The power to heal, the future of pain relief.
McDowell's Supplements, an effective way to ensure you and your loved ones are getting the daily recommended intake of essential vitamins, minerals, and other important nutrients necessary for optimal health. Naturally, we carry an array of health and wellness supplements. McDowell's Immune Booster enhances your body's defense to fight colds and flu, boosts your immune system, prevents viruses and other airborne diseases. McDowell's Colon Cleanser prevents constipation, helps in removing toxins from the colon, detoxifies the body, and regulates your bowel movements. McDowell's Prostate Health prevent the enlargement of the prostate, improve urinary flow, and reduce frequent urination, especially at night. Moringa oleifera capsules are rich in minerals like calcium, potassium, zinc, magnesium, iron, and copper, vitamins like beta-carotene of vitamin A, vitamin B such as folic acid, vitamin C, D, and E. McDowell's Potassium Complex, used for treating and preventing low potassium levels, high blood pressure, preventing stroke, and aid in weight loss. McDowell's Triple Magnesium relaxes the muscles, relieves cramps and helps to control high blood pressure, improves sleep, and can calm the nerves. Magnesium is very important for the normal functioning of cells, nerves, muscles, bones, and the heart. McDowell's Ginger Turmeric helps to relieve pain, decrease nausea and enhance the immune function to help protect against illness and infection. Ginger turmeric has powerful anti-inflammatory properties and improves your circulation. Don't hold health back. Let health strike back. McDowell's, the better way to start your health. Visit Health Service Center, John Compton Highway. Call 453-6417. Let your wellness be our stress.
The voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluffs. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in once again to The Real Issues with me, Shelton Daniel, your host and producer, alongside our technical operator, Alton Jaquan Joseph. Our program airs, as you know, weekdays from 12:30 until 2 p.m. on the radio station Real FM 91.3, the frequency for the North, and 91.5 South. We also simulcast on MBC Television Channel 120 on the Flow Cable TV service. We are on Facebook Live, and we also stream live on YouTube. I hope you've been having a good day so far. It is Tuesday, the 12th of November 2024, and that you're looking forward to a similarly bright and productive remainder of your day. Be sure, as I always tell you, to be safe. And no matter even if we're almost at the middle of November, remain prepared, remain vigilant, remain watchful. We are still in the hurricane season. And let's not forget that in recent years we've seen hurricane-like activity continuing well past the official end of the season on November 30th going into December. So don't let your guard down in anything that you do. And I keep on telling you, whatever it is that you do, do it not just for yourself, do it for others. Do more than you're supposed to do. You know, that thing that Jesus Christ said about going the extra mile? You have to go the extra mile. You have to play your set of cards like a game of dominoes and play the cards of a weak partner. I still continue to insist upon that people who are not doing the right thing, sometimes it is you, the law-abiding people, the public-spirited people, the patriotic people, Because you overperform in terms of doing what is right, what is law-abiding, you compensate for the deficits, for the deficiencies in others. And don't become wary of doing well or ever say, me, not me, I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. I'm doing just my part, what I'm supposed, and other people, they have to play their part too. Yes, in an ideal and perfect world, that would be fine, but it is not. And we have a lot of people who insist on not doing the right thing. Let's not allow the whole thing which we call society to fall apart because of them. That is what responsibility and leadership are about. At the most common and familiar level, we like to think of leadership too much. Once we talk of leadership, it's prime ministership that comes to our mind. It's minister, it's representative, it's manager, it's this kind of thing. We can demonstrate a civic sense of responsibility that by itself is leadership, strong leadership. Overperforming when it comes to doing the right thing. If you're not in too much of a hurry, someone wants to make a turn across the road, let them go. It doesn't take anything off you. It doesn't take anything to yield. I'm so often amused at usually young people who overtake you on the road. The fellas overtaking you, let's say on that Bois d'Orange stretch heading towards Monjero. The fellas overtake you for kind of speed, and it's like, move there, get out of the way, let me pass. And you think it's somebody who in a little personal crisis of lateness, Where do you see them turning? Into S&S. A few yards from the place they overtake you. And you tell yourself, but what was the difference, really? Between just letting me go because I'm not, other people, they do it too. And you'll get your turn, but, it's like they just have to do it. So, this kind of things, let's be tolerant of them on the road. Let us hope the more serious, life-threatening ones, like I mentioned about people driving without lights, that the police will take care of it. Because I'm assuming that if people can see it, and we've had a lady who came on the program once, Sylvia Kadas, who expressed, her utter exasperation with this kind of thing that is happening. And other people are complaining that the police are seeing it as well. It can't be we all seeing the potholes and the bad state of the road and there's nobody, from potholing unit, Ministry of Infrastructure, some member of cabinet who's not driving that road, who doesn't also see it and know that there is a problem to be dealt with. But let me just say, when it comes to problems to be dealt with, folks, I was absolutely astounded, horrified, shocked when yesterday or day before I got another call from a gentleman who we had seen him narrating a long video clip that he had taken to show us the leakage, the wastage of water from a water tank in the upper reaches of Patience Miku. An area they call Set Maui, going right up to the top where I think the catchment area is, or where the water source of the Patience River is, where they call Mont Louis. On one side of it is, Costier leaning towards the Font Marguerite area. Then there's another side that leans towards, what's the name of that place? Is it Mateli or Pelouge or one of those areas there and so on? And he had shown us the amount of water that is leaking and, wasting from that tank. And I'm assuming that this is treated water. It's clean water. It's water that is supposed to be pipe-borne that is going down. And not just at the same time that many people are complaining that they're not getting water, but the damage it is doing to the road, the damage it is doing to drains, the threat it is posing to people's property. And Alan Moncherry called me again and said, this thing is still happening. It is still happening. He doesn't know what it is, but at certain times when the tank gets full or whatever, because, people are not using or there's rain, whatever it is, I don't really know. He couldn't really tell me. But at certain times, water gushes out of that just the same way like I told you. Now, I've appealed before to the water company, and if everybody can see it, and Alan can send me video clips and we can see, that it is happening and so on, surely the people who work in the water company in Wasco, of which I know a couple personally from the Monrepo area. I think this is one of the places where before it was Central Water Authority, CWA, Then it went on to Wasco or whatever it is. There were people who were very hardworking, very dedicated. There were a father and son's team of Mr. Jacob Shalry, known as Mr. Mab, to me, Cousin Mab. He's also the father of Thomas Ambrose, whom you hear used to call this program very often. He had his sons, 3 of his sons were, they were like a crew working together in this water. There was Cornelius Shalry, who was passed away, a couple of years now. There was his younger brothers, Stanislas Shalry, known as Tantan, who was also really into the water thing. And there was Sinclair, Shalry. These people were really dedicated, and then came a younger generation of water workers from that area who, these people would be up in the bush where the snakes are and so on, or having so and so on, to go up there to fix problems on any day of the week. They really showed a lot of dedication and resolve, and I'm sure these were the days where the money was nothing, probably is nothing big to talk about. We have Matthias William, who I understand has been transferred to the Denry Valley, known as Pepe. I mean, these kinds of people. There was an older man, called Tisin, Mr. Norbert, from Lapwet. These people in the water business, they were, let us honor the memory and the hard work of those people by not letting water waste while people are, complaining in some places they're not getting water and so on. Over time, that kind of frustration, it builds. Minister Jeremiah Norbert, the MP for the first time for himself and for the Labour Party, winning Miku North and adding it to the column of the now governing St. Lucia Labour Party, I know, has worked very hard to get the funding required so that they can do the Patience Water Improvement Project. And while they're working on it, we can't see the water wasting like that. I don't know what is causing it. I don't know if it is some valve. I don't know if it is some kind of overflow device, whatever it is. Wasco, I keep saying the optics of that is bad. It's just not good. Even if it's in a place where everybody getting water, to see water flowing and wasting and going like that, it is bad. There is a cost towards taking that water from wherever your dam or catchment area is, to give it its treatment and so on, and to put it in the storage tank and so on. This is just bad. It's absolutely bad it's infuriating to people. And let me say this. We must not take people for granted, We must not take people for granted to believe that their anger, that they're not going to channel it in a manner that they consider where they will make the greatest impact and where it will matter most. We must never do that. We must never assume that people will not go back to where they were before. Don't ever think that. And sometimes it's not just one issue of the water, because from what Alan Moncheru, I know is not a guy, he told me the road going up to that same area, the St. Marie, to be sure he didn't tell me it's the water that caused, but the road is deteriorating, is getting in a bad state and so on. And he's recommended that, the MP bring along the Minister of Infrastructure for a drive, for some kind of ride, to see it for themselves, what it is. Because he's a guy connected to the ground and he knows the grumblings of people that's happening in this area. And even when sometimes you can't do everything at the same time, you want to take your time, maybe because of the rainy season, you figure now you go and try to do potholing and thinking, and then rains come shortly after before it has settled, and explain that to the people. Say something to the people. Talk to the people. Explain to them. They can understand, But don't just leave it that they have to find their way and wepuko. People take offense at this kind of things. And that's all I'm saying. Communication at the community level. Don't think about you put out a press release or you put a statement. Maybe now we have to go back to the days where there was this person, not town crier, but somebody with a bullhorn on their vehicle, to just go around, drive in the affected areas and tell people, gouvernement ni plan pour manger chimien, mais yo pas ça fait actuellement, là ni trop plat pli et puis théâtre mouillé, mais comme ça nous jouons un petit temps côté saison cyclone nous kay adresser ça bagay. Et bien pour le moment, nous mettons un petit tac, quarry waste, c'est bien pumice, c'est bien premix qui ça qui en là, you go around, you tell people that. Church is another good way in such communities to put out a little notice on Sunday church service to let the people of Setmawi, Lomba, Laho, this kind of places. Know that you are aware that there is a problem and something will be done. It's very effective to disseminate information like that. And I don't believe any priest will ever refuse to have such a notice read in church. Folks, do those kinds of things. Do not let things accumulate. I am going to speak again about special prosecutor because there could be background, talks and lobbying and pressuring taking place that we don't know about. It's not a matter of we don't understand that judicial matters, you have to treat them, in a very, very circumspect manner and don't go making noise so that nobody can say that you are pressuring special prosecutor. That's not, or we don't understand that the mechanism of appointment is not a government or cabinet thing, is regional legal. All we're saying is that a lot was promised, a lot of stake on that. You roiled and riled up the passions and the temperament and the sentiments, of your supporters and the public at large who wanted for once to see something done, to see people held to account, to see people brought to book, to see people brought before some kind of body which will not just hear what happened, but has the power, to convict people and to appropriately sentence them if anything that rises to that level or threshold can be dealt with. You can say it's being bloodthirsty, but if it is so, you made your people now baying for a certain kind of blood which they feel they're righteously entitled to. Do not just let it pass and it's a matter of, we have nothing to say. There is nothing to say. And I want to appeal again to my party, the St. Lucia Labour Party. Do not ever let yourself get in the situation where the message you're giving is our hands are tied. We can't do anything about it. Do not ever be the only party in the Caribbean that has this TJZ disposition and this attitude that, other people whom we appointed, we have to take the blame, we have to take the licks for everything, but other people can be doing things and we can't touch them. Political power has to be handled and leveraged in a manner on behalf of the people, and not even the impression should be tolerated that a party which enjoys that degree of power as expressed in the ballot box has even one of its hands tied behind its back and there's nothing it can do. If there are people who are sitting tight while they're doing damage to you, you have to find some way that is below eye level where you can pressure them and hound them out of office if you have to. But do not let anyone ever hijack the mandate that the people gave you. Never let that happen. It can be police commissioner, it can be special prosecutor, it can be whoever they are. For them to be doing things and they're shielded and insulated behind the back room of closet and cabinet and cabal and whatever, and you have to be taking the wrath of the people, whether it is Caribbean Development Bank, whatever. Don't tolerate that kind of thing from anybody. Political power must count for something. When is other people in power counting for them? They're stepping over the bounds of law and so on to do all kinds of iniquities with deputy speaker and national trust and so on. I'm not telling you to behave just like them, but they cannot know how to wield and exercise political power in a manner where they are virtually irrepressible, unstoppable, invincible, to do things that are against the constitution of the law. And you find yourself, your back to the wall, almost like you are the one who won the election, but the people you defeated are the ones who hold the power. You have to stop this kind of foolishness. You have to stop. And you know what? You have the confidence of the people. You have the people behind you. But the more the days tick by, and you see the people see like, oh boy, we stuck and so on. They wonder why they gave you this overwhelming mandate. Why they gave you this undeniable majority and so on. If you're going to tell them that, oh, well, we can't do. No. One thing I used to have Philip J. Pierre encouraging Labour Party people when they were in office between 1997 and 2006. He used to always say, we have to stop this Bouakase thing. Labour Party people, they have a Bouakase thing about them as if, oh boy, and Bouakase means broken arm. Like they're government in power, but they have a broken wing, they're complaining, they're not seeing this, but change. And I used to point out things are happening, We are going forward. We are making progress. Well, I'll tell you one of the ways you can convince them: never allow yourself to be pushed into some area where you seem to be helpless, where appointed people, where contracted people, where public servant people, even judicial appointments can hold you to ransom to the extent where everybody believes that, you have political power, but you don't know how to use it and so on. But the political power, you're more helpless. Never let that to happen. Never let that happen to you. And you know why a lot of people have confidence in Donald Trump? They have confidence with him because even though he stepped over boundaries and so on, they saw him like a man who was prepared to do that to get things done. I don't agree with him. I don't personally support him, whatever, but they felt that he's a man, if you have to pull out of trade agreement because it feels like it's milking you, NATO, shake up things and so on, don't leave them the same way, that there was a certain decisiveness about him. I'm not asking us to be reckless. I'm not asking us to be insightful. I'm not asking us to be divisive, to pitch people one set of solutions against the other. That's not what I'm saying about. But there have to be a point where you tell yourself, look, we can't be. It's like you hold a management position and some, as I have experienced, they don't come and ask you, sir, can I get some time off to go and do this and so on, I once worked with a young lady, that was how she used to think until, I have to go and do this. I have to go and do that. My news is not done. I have to go and record something for this person over there. It's never this until, one day myself, and thankfully for once, the person who was the manager above me, we saw this and we said, no, this can't continue. It's like you're not coming to ask, you're coming to just inform that I have to go and do this and I have to go and do that, arrogant person. And at the end of the day, when I pulled that person up on it, wrote me one kind of letter, that she will not be made to deny her skills and her talents to other people who want it. If somebody calls her to record something, and I'm sure the person who called you to record, they never intend for you to just pick up and just leave and just go and do a recording for them without telling your head of department, this person has asked me to come and do a recording from another department. Can I, get some time? Nothing like that. And that's the same way, do not, Labour Party, allow people who are supposed to be taking their cue and directives from you, be dictating to you how things must be done. You are the policy leaders. You are the pinnacle, the zenith of the executive arm of the government. And you have to exercise that power. I think I've said enough on that. I don't want to say more, but you can't be the mightiest of the mighty. You cannot be the heavy one there and everybody feel they can hold you by the nuts. Everybody feel they can hold you by the balls. Everybody feel, as we used to say before, when we're, in a time when we used to call your ears your ears, everybody think they can squeeze your grains for you. Don't let this kind of thing ever happen to you. Enough said on that. Let me speak to this matter of the U.S. elections. As you know, many of you would know, we have a Real Issues chat group on WhatsApp. And I've been watching without comment because I never want anybody to feel that because I am the administrator and I'm the host of the program, that when I say something, it's the last word. You can easily get into this position where, without intending to, you can become overbearing. You can become maybe even intimidating, where people feel that they must flow with you. Even some talk show hosts, I think they don't realize how many people they're losing. Like when people call, you get a sense that they're ready to cut them off, and they do cut them off because they're not saying what they want to say. And, they have to go according to the host's point of view. And I get that a lot, people will tell me, why do you cut off that person in the group? Why do you not block this person? Why are you so tolerant of this person and so on? I don't. When people disagree and they bring forward another point of view, it's grist for the mill of discussion, of debate. Even when you rebut and refute what they say, it sharpens you, it improves you. It's good. You don't suppress somebody just because their point of view differs from you. When I want to speak to, I have some great people. I have to say almost all of them great people in that group. But I find a little tendency of oversensitivity. Not intolerance, but the oversensitive. If someone takes on some cherished position or point of view they have, you get a sense that people are seething and chafing about it. Some people, no need for that, folks. Some of us will feel US elections, we don't want to hear a word about it, enough said about it. Others want to go in depth about it and so on. I've seen some getting into almost an exchange of blows. No, I don't know exchange of blows. It's a healthy debate and discussion. That we have so many things here in St. Lucia to discuss. Why are we on Trump? We're not the only ones, all over the world. Donald Trump, if there's one thing he has managed to do, is to have people always talking about him, discussing him. He dominates news, he's in the headlines. Even those who are most committed, liberals and Democrats and so on. Trump says one thing and they forget everything. Kamala is Trump. Now, let me tell you why I think. I don't think we should obsess ourselves with it. As of now, Joe Biden is still the president of the United States. And, surprise, surprise, Kamala Harris is still the vice president of the United States. She's still the president of the Senate. And like I said, the vice president, to my mind, in my opinion, is the most powerful politician in America. Number 2 person in the executive. Senior to that vice president is only the president. The president cannot fire the vice president, contrary to what many people believe. The position for removing a vice president, or the process, is practically the same as the removal of a president. It has to go through whatever impeachment, whatever, and so on. Because the ticket on which they were elected was not Biden. It was not just Trump. It was Biden-Harris. It is Trump-Vance. It was Obama-Biden, So, it was Trump-Pence at one point. So the vice president is an elected person. We tend to believe that the president was elected, but the vice president was somebody he just towed along with him. No, my friend. Constitutionally, the vice president is elected. And so this is the number 2 person in the executive arm of the government of the United States. Only one person is senior to the vice president in the executive, and that person is the president. The president falls sick, the president is incapacitated, the vice president is the one who's acting as president, and the vice president is the only person who's a member of the executive, a very high-ranking member, the number 2 person in the executive. The deputy chief executive, the president is there, and the vice president is also the president of the Senate. You can almost say that's the head of the legislative branch of government too, because the Senate has always been considered the more prestigious of the 2 houses of Congress. Always considered president of the Senate. And so as of now, Biden-Harris are still president and vice president of the United States. And in 2 months, a little more than that, a lot can happen. We never know what can happen in those 2 months. But let me tell you why I think it is relevant, it is germane to us. Given the past dispositions of Donald Trump, and we have no reason to believe that this has or will change, his attitude towards Venezuela, will he now resume and escalate hostilities? Because Venezuela has now had another controversial election, which they used last time as the rationale, the basis for all this attempt to undermine and subvert and to destabilize Venezuela, and naming their own president. Juan Guaido is the man they recognize, and Britain just confiscating Venezuelan gold that I think the Venezuelans for security had stored in their vaults of the Bank of England. They just decided just taking the gold and so on, this kind of naked plunder, and putting sanction on them. They can't sell their oil, and things are bad and things are tough. The thing is, those people come and they mess up people's country. And then they blame the people for the mess up situation that they have caused, that they're making their people suffer, that people are leaving Venezuela, people are fleeing Venezuela. And so now they see all these migrants coming from south, possibly a lot of them are Venezuelans, fleeing the hardship in their country. Who caused the hardship? You believe it's Chavez and thing? all this sanction you put on them, all this squeeze you put on them, you don't believe life will be hard and people will want. The same thing with Cuba. Why so many Cubans were boarding boats, the Cuban migrants and so on, because of the embargo and all the sanction you put. No matter how ingenious the people or the government of Cuba was, the Castros or whatever, they could never bring the country to the level because of that ball squeeze that America had on them. And I'm telling you this, my concern is that Trump coming back, he'll continue right where he left off. Against Venezuela, against Cuba. People, this must affect us. Cuba must find itself in a position where it will say, look, I can't give you more than 10 scholarships. I cannot help you with the medical things that I used to help you with and send Cuban doctors, whatever. Or they will say, look, for the Cuban doctors we sent to you, we have now to double, triple, make the price 10 times of what you pay us for the expertise that we used to give you before for almost free and so on, because things are rough with us. In other words, every time people like Donald Trump are in office, those foreign leaders who show a sense of solidarity to want to help us with our development, Venezuela with housing, Venezuela with giving us oil at a reduced price if we were prepared, to do what was necessary for it. So many other things, a Cuban eye care program where Cuba provided the expertise and the equipment and the professionals, the human resource. Venezuela funded it. The Cuban Miracle Eye Care program. That all those things will be in danger, because Donald Trump will come back and he will return to what is considered to be the predictable, classical, Republican playbook of putting sanctions on Cuba and Venezuela and worsening it and tightening the screws on us. We're gonna be hurt in the Caribbean. These countries have played a big and very important part in our development for very little cost, like we almost had to give them nothing in return. Libya wanted to set up a development bank in the Caribbean and give us help and investors. It's like these people went after Libya in a most dishonorable, despicable, inhumane way and so on. And I have a feeling Libya is no longer a factor in that regard. They did what they had to do there. That the very same thing is going to come back. That Trump is go back and turn the screws on everybody who are helpful development partners with us in a way that America does not bother about. It considers this is America is investing its money in all the places where terrorists always want to blow them up and blow up planes and do this sort of thing. We, the Caribbean and the Americas, they tend to jump over our heads. It's always somewhere far away. Now the people large, we can't tell them what to do with their resources. So I believe that some discussion about the likely implications of Donald Trump's return to power in the United States. What are the implications for us? But I do agree, we should not obsess ourselves. It's done and dusted that he has won the election. He's won it emphatically, convincingly, etc. and so on. That he will, barring anything else, become the next president of the United States when he is inaugurated on January 20th. I don't like to see all this talk about Americans are dumb and Americans are stupid and Americans are convicted felon, whatever it is. All of that was put out. They made their decision that this is who they wanted and they voted for him. We have to recognize, acknowledge, and respect that. But the apprehension we might feel, some of us at least, the others who feel that it presages and bodes well for better times and so on, economically, etc., etc. We are due for a commercial break, overdue in fact. Let's take it right now. When we come back, a few more words from me, and then I'm going to open the phone lines for your calls and your messages.
The voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
Why are you suffering from aches, pains and illnesses? When there's help for you. At Health Service Center, we offer a wide range of treatment that has been scientifically proven to help you with your aches, pains and illnesses. Our ICT machine is one of the most effective devices in the health field. It has shown positive results in many health problems, such as back pains, shoulder pains, migraine headaches, pain in the knees and legs, poor circulation, arthritis, diabetic neuropathy, numbness in the feet, strokes and sports injuries. ICT, repairs, rebuild. The power to heal, the future of pain relief.
McDowell Supplements, an effective way to ensure you and your loved ones are getting the daily recommended intake of essential vitamins, minerals, and other important nutrients necessary for optimal health. Naturally, we carry an array of health and wellness supplements. McDowell's Immune Booster enhances your body's defense to fight colds and flu, boosts your immune system, prevents viruses and other airborne diseases. McDowell's Colon Cleanser prevents constipation, helps in removing toxins from the colon, detoxifies the body, and regulates your bowel movements. McDowell's Prostate Health prevent the enlargement of the prostate, improve urinary flow, and reduce frequent urination, especially at night. Moringa oleifera capsules are rich in minerals like calcium, potassium, zinc, magnesium, iron, and copper, vitamins like beta-carotene, vitamin A, vitamin B such as folic acid, vitamin C, D, and E. McDowell's Potassium Complex, used for treating and preventing low potassium levels, high blood pressure, preventing stroke, and aid in weight loss. McDowell's Triple Magnesium relaxes the muscles, relieves cramps and helps to control high blood pressure, improves sleep, and can calm the nerves. Magnesium is very important for the normal functioning of cells, nerves, muscles, bones, and the heart. McDowell's Ginger Turmeric helps to relieve pain, decrease nausea and enhance the immune function to help protect against illness and infection. Ginger turmeric has powerful anti-inflammatory properties and improves your circulation. Don't hold health back. Let health strike back. McDowell's, the better way to start your health. Visit Health Service Center, John Compton Highway, call 453-6417. Let your wellness be our stress.
If you recently submitted a claim to the National Insurance Corporation, you also need to submit your financial account information to get paid. All NIC benefit claims are now paid conveniently through your local financial institution. To provide your bank or credit union account information, simply log on to the NIC website at www.stlucianic.org. Click the Financial Account Information tab and fill out the form. It's that easy. You only submit once. Ensure you enter the details of an open active account in your name. If you do not have access to the internet, visit any NIC office to collect a financial account information form. Help us to help you. NIC, for the benefit of us all.
It is well known that diseases like diabetes, high blood pressure, and other illnesses may restrict blood flow, which can lead to impotence and erectile dysfunction. This is why Enhance was formulated to meet these challenging health problems, which can reduce your ability to perform. If you're having problems maintaining your manhood, then reclaim your manhood today with Enhance. Enhance increases your energy level, boosts your stamina, and increases your endurance.
You can get your Enhance at Southwell VA4, Restorer Pharmacy Soufre, Knights Med Miku, Lay By Bar The Morn, Dexter's Place Jeremy Street Castries, Citygate Bar The City opposite the market, Plants Place Denry Highway, Arlette Supermarket Soufre, The Release Stress Bar Labrie Highway, Cool Joint Bar Victoria Schwazel, Prios Bus Stop 22, next to the Moshi Bus Stop opposite the Grosile Bus Stop. Prios Bar and Grill in Corinth, Grosile.
Enhance, the best a man can get.
The man, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with big issues. Big issues, 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
Appreciate you staying with the real issues on this Tuesday. It is the 12th of November 2024. The telephone lines are about to be opened. Let me just make a little note about my observations when it comes to political messaging. It is always more effective in terms of reaching people when you can frame your messages in the context of what is tangible, what is material, what people can relate to, instead of hypotheticals and things that are visionary, things that are really concepts and so on, abstruse or however you want to call it. For example, I noticed that Kamala Harris spoke a lot about our democracy and our constitution. Now these are good things, people should be concerned about democracy and constitution. But how do you relate that to people's daily lives and the things that really matter to them? Getting a job, getting paid better, the high prices that they have to deal with, their rent, their mortgage, these different things. If Donald Trump talks about those things, people are going to listen to him and they'll relate to them more. And when we like to talk about the visionary things, and the things that are really, they're there, about them, but how, it's like in St. Lucia, I can well see if Labour Party makes these things its main talking points or its only talking points. I can well see Guy Josephs and those people saying, since when do people eat constitution? Since when do people play their mortgage, with democracy? It's very easy, How does that really impact me? Now, you go and say that, you're going to find many people who tell you, but Shelton, democracy and so on, you cannot do things. I understand what you're saying. I understand that in an environment of repression and oppression and trampling on people's rights and so on, I understand you have to deal with those things so people can get a decent chance, at going to work and your minimum wage and so on, the things that you put in place. And this is what I generally find with what I will term the educated intellectual left. They tend to be people who are in love with their own talking points. They tend to be people who believe that their intelligence and their learning makes them able to stay and not to actually go and deduce from what the evidence shows and what people are actually saying when you mingle with them at the down-to-earth level. They tend to be the people who sit at a table, recline in a chair with a little drink and, where they figure they can say, look, man, let me tell you something. People are going to say this and people are going to say that and people are going to vote for the government based upon its performance. The government has performed. We just have to inform people and keep them aware of the performance of the government and the thing. I'm telling you, my friend, sometimes you have to go and take people by the hand and let them, bring them to the truth. They will not just figure it out for themselves. Sometimes the truth is just a little bit too, it's just a little too profound for them and so on. They need to have it brought to them in a manner that they can relate to. I'm telling you. And I just find many times the intelligent, educated, intellectual, left socialist types and so on, they believe too much in their own talking points. They'll go on a talk show and they will tell you there is no way this person can win because people will see through this and will see through that, and they have this kind of way that they think they can deduce things. Their reasoning is often inductive reasoning, where they inject values and arguments and so on into something, and they believe based on that this is the outcome. They are normally the kind of people who, how would I call it? They interpolate. They inject reasoning into situations as opposed to extrapolate. Gather examples and results and so on from what is, extrapolate from it. Don't try to inject your theory about what. I believe there was a lot of that in the American election, and we have to be careful that many of us, with all good intentions, that we are not engaging in this kind of inductive, interpolating kind of reasoning and way of figuring out things. To see things from the standpoint of people when they tell you they're hurting, when they tell you they're squeezing. Stop arguing with them that they're not hurting. It's all in their head, and they must understand these things that are going on, and there's this and there's the income support. Rather, make a call and tell them, look, I've spoken to this person at this office. Go to them on Wednesday morning at 9 o'clock. They're expecting you. I told them about you. And go there, talk to Mr. Jaquan Joseph, and he will, do this. And don't worry if you can't fill out. You do things for people. And you set out all the public assistance and the housing support and everything. And you know why they don't go? A lot of them filling out a form intimidates them. They're afraid when they go, they'll ask them because they're functionally illiterate. Many of them afraid of all the questions they will ask them. Many of them, they embarrass when they'll ask them, so how much money do you make? To say, I make nothing, I have nothing. So do you have any money saved in the bank? All of that making them feel so inferior that they wish a hole would open, in the floor and swallow them. We need people in the various constituency offices and so on who will not just tell people, go income support, have something. We'll take a form that you will keep some there and fill it out with them, for them. Okay, so your full name is, Mr. ID card money, that you can copy it from there. That you can help them with those things so that they will avail. That you will make a call for them. A lot of them, they need that kind of hand-holding. They're intimidated to go into that kind of office and somebody calling them. I know even at banks, without intending, loan officers can be very intimidating if you're not somebody who walks in there a little sure of yourself. You need to do that for people, and I know because I have done it for a lot of people. They thank me no end. I make a call on their behalf, and I can tell them, okay, I spoke to somebody at Ministry of Education regarding scholarship. Go there on this place and talk to that person and so on. So they know where they're going, and if they come and they say, the person was so nice. People, sometimes you do something for them and just the shame. I know community events where they prepare food, whatever, for people, and they don't come forward because they're afraid somebody will huff them, Whereas the people who don't need the food, they're the ones at the front of the line, and not only they want to stack their plate, but they're already telling the people to wrap this in foil for them, and the people for whom it is really intended, most times they don't get anything. They don't get anything because Mr. Greedy Joe and Greedy Jane and so on, who don't want to cook food at their home, who hogging on to everything, come forward, eat all the food, drink all the juice and so on, and make people wrap things for them, and they're gone with it already. And they don't step forward. These little Maliway people who can hardly talk. They have their own little sense of dignity and pride. Like, you pay mun for your affon, that they're not going to race for it. We see those things. And so you have all kinds of different programs and projects and things. And sometimes the uptake of people for it is not that great. You have to make things less intimidating for the people who are at the lower socio-economic rung. Because the mere fact that they don't have name and so on, they can feel intimidated. They don't want to go forward. They're afraid somebody will shout at them, or they will ask them questions where it will expose how stupid, how illiterate, how little English that they can talk. So those of you who work in those constituency offices, whether governmental offices or whatever it is, or the party offices, reach out to people. They talk about scholarship and so on for their children and so on. Tell them, okay, they're tired. Because I was talking to somebody about Taiwanese scholarships. And the person told me there are so many Taiwanese scholarships, but the uptake is very low. People are not coming forward. That they need to come and to see, help them. You'll be amazed at how some people, they don't want to step forward for help. Not because they're negligent, not because they're lazy, but because they have that sense of inferiority about themselves. Their self-worth, their self-esteem is low. It's an intimidating experience sitting by somebody who's stone-faced, who's shooting questions at them that they believe is showing what losers and what failures and what maltravers and deprived, and they don't have anything. So they prefer not to go forward. You have to reach out and hold their hand. You're doing good for them, but you have to go and take them and say, come. You have to go into the graveyard, into Wilton's yard, and find young men sitting there and be able to tell them, hey, sir, what's up with you now? What are you doing? Well, I ain't working now. I need a work. Okay, well, I know so and so and so. Whatever. You pick up the phone sometimes in their presence and call them, sending a young man to you. Many times they'll not do it themselves. They already feel like they don't stand a chance, that they're being looked down upon, that nobody's going to care. I'm not saying in every case, but you have to do those things. They don't know how to even go and talk to the Mr. So-and-so. They don't know, going in a kind of way. They don't know how to present themselves. And right away, that's intimidating and causing them to stay away, even though you have so many things there that they can benefit from, even in the short term. This is the real issues. I said we'll open the phone lines, and let me be true to my word now. 487-9849 is the mobile number. Don't call 724 whatever. 487-9849. That is the mobile number. You can WhatsApp call us on it. And you also can call us on 4533-911. Lines are open for your calls. At any time, you can choose to do so. We go in until 2 o'clock. The other thing which I wanted to talk about, and like I said, lines are open. You can call, lines are open. I'll interrupt myself. Is this whole matter about dumbing down what you are doing in order to gain popularity and so on? Well, let me tell you something. You see real issues? It doesn't bother me if there are others whose content quality may be a lot less than what we have, Because if you want people to come in the numbers, you have to dumb it down. I ain't going to do that. And I know those of you who truly support this program don't want to see that happen. We have to maintain standard and quality and stay the course. And believe and know and be convinced that it will pay off. We have our first caller. Good afternoon, Real Issues.
Good afternoon, Shelton.
Yeah, good afternoon. Speak up a bit. I'm hearing you a little faint and far.
Shelton.
Yeah, that's better.
This morning I was in an argument with a Flavo. And I don't understand how these people operate. When they lose the argument, they always go down the road of insults. So this morning, we were in a little argument, and then I'm telling the guy St. Jude's will soon be open. And then he said, oh, you don't know why the government did not continue with the box. So I'm asking him, but why? What was wrong with the structures they destroyed? Why they didn't continue with the structures? Then, he couldn't answer that. Then he goes, Shasney was building a modern hospital.
The state-of-the-art modern hospital.
So then I told him, does that make sense? Shasney said that that modern hospital would be two hospitals in one, where it would be a local hospital and an international hospital where they would share facilities. And then he goes to me, Shasney never said that. He never said that. And, so I told him, but I have the clip. I can show it to you. And then, he continued, he never said that. So in searching for the clip, when I showed him the clip, he was shocked. Then he goes, that's not what I told him. It was another thing I told him. I told him, no, I told you, Shasney said that the building was two hospitals in one. And then the guy continued with his insults and disrespect. I was baffled by that. Anyway, that's my contribution.
All right, my friend. Thank you. Thank you so much. What this person has said there, it's typical, It's typical. And I'm telling you, if you are somebody who is focused on winning arguments, that winning arguments is the most important thing, all your time, all your energy gets sucked up in it. And quite honestly, I believe people who are, like I said, the learned, the educated, the intellectual people, well, many times you find, I'm not saying there are people who have that kind of left socialist, people-centered thing, they want to see better for the people. Perhaps they need to re-examine whether they are too much in love with winning arguments and focus on, I can win the argument, I can suck it to you, I can make you shut up your mouth, but how do I win the hearts and minds of people? Because it is possible that a party like the Labour Party loves and is capable of winning any argument. But UWP, they focus upon winning the hearts, the minds, and the votes of people. How do they do that? By exactly what this person said. Keep ponging the same thing, even if it is not true. Keep hammering it away and so on. And at the time they erode the strength of arguments with just the persistence of lies and deception. We have a call on the line. Good afternoon. Real Issues.
How are you, my friend?
Hey, I'm okay.
Well, Shelton, I am very happy. I am happy to hear that the government of the day step up to the plate again and decide to fund the surgery for that poor girl, that poor child
From Denry.
of January. And I have to praise them for that. That is worthy of praise. That's an act of humanitarian service that needs to be praised. And the rep for January South, take a bow for reaching out. Shelton, when I look at Alan Chasney, when I look at the amount of money that he making off rent, 25% that he making off rent from the state, what will that take from him to demonstrate that act, that humanitarian act? Shelton, if I was in a position to support that girl, to fund that surgery for, I would have done it. And a man that want to lead the country, a man who wants to reign over these same people, why you can't reach out, Shelton? I know your take on that, but to me, if I want to run a country, if I want to lead a country, it's these things I would be engaging, even if I'm not in power. But lead up your position, I believe that Alan Chasney, the amount of money that he's making off rent, could have stepped up to the plate and pay that surgery for that girl. Because you could see it's a need that there. And for the government to do it, I praise the government. That's my contribution today.
All right, thank you very much. Let me just say this, that while this caller may want to put the Chasneys and so on the spot and show them up, maybe the Chasneys and those of them, that's exactly what they want to do. If they go and they chip in and pay for people and so on, yes, it will elevate them in the eyes of the public as being philanthropic and compassionate and so on. But perhaps they're more interested in showing up the government. Let me leave it that way, and tell the people, even if it's quietly, that the government should help you because they're the ones causing that crime and they're the ones under whom the crime is going, because they believe that doing so will show up the government and put the government on the spot. They may be thinking directly opposite to what you're suggesting. We have a call on the line. Hello? Hello, caller.
Shelton, good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon to you.
How you doing, man?
Okay, I think.
You think you're not sure? Anyway, I hoping that you're doing okay. I just want to commend you, man, on the program.
Speak up a bit for me, please. Yeah, your voice is just way too low for it.
I just want to commend you on what you just said on the program today about lending a helping hand. Because this is so true. So many people laid back, and it has to take another individual to hold their hands and give them the courage so that they could aspire to what that they want to achieve. And also, in terms of what the caller said, the caller have to remember that if somebody was in power for almost 6 years and there were 6 individuals that they never lent a hand to, and those individuals were entitled to it because they won their seats, you think he will reach out to an ordinary individual, like just a common individual? I think the caller need to take that into consideration and just realize that there are certain people, they do not care, and you cannot teach them to care. No matter what you do, they won't care. That's my contribution. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. And I know there are people who are doing it. We just need to do it more. There's so many programs, like I said, youth economy, a whole lot of different things, small, medium and micro enterprise, development fund, a whole lot of things that are there, that people can be assisted with employment, with helping them in a little business that they want to start and so on, that we can point them to. And a lot of times they come, maybe they don't even have a phone, they don't have credit on their phone, at some constituency office or somewhere where a call can be made on their behalf and so on. Those who can, you can maybe Google it very quickly and say, look, this is where you need to go. The place is on Trinity Church Road, that you can go there and, maybe place a call for them and say, who is the person who really deals with people who are seeking assistance under this, and what would be a good time for somebody who wants to come and ask for some help, and you can tell them, well, go to this place on that such and such a time, and you'll find such and such a person who's there to help you, and do that for people. Don't just expect that because you announce it that they'll just come forward. Some will, yes, but a lot of people, they couldn't be bothered and so on. Some of them, the whole thing about taking a bus to get there, and when they get there, they will be kept waiting, and the person who's there went to lunch and never came back, or said they're busy today because they just showed up there. It's better if you arrange for them a time that they can go there, that they wouldn't find somebody who went out and hasn't come back, who stepped out and they came all the way from Millet, whatever it is, and they can, this kind of thing, or maybe save them the trip from Millet, go to the parliamentary representative's office or some other, center that they have in the constituency, office, whatever, and that they can go and get more pointed, more targeted assistance and direction, and to fill a form or to make a call, whatever it is. We have another call on the line. Okay, we lost that call, I'm told by Jaquan. 487-9849, that is the number to dial, and also 4533-911. Let me see if I can look at the Facebook Live. And it's a while I haven't given our people on the Facebook some attention. They're always there, one thing with them, and really, oops, I think I took a wrong turn on this one. Let me see if I can get back to it. Jaquan sent me the link. Okay, there it is. Good. Oops, lots of people there today. Yeah, good afternoon to you, Joan Edward, and Bongo Wisely. Oh, it's a while we haven't run into each other. He says, blessed love, Shelton, and all viewers. Love, light, and logic, my bro. Thank you very much. Cecilia Allen says she woke up this morning to a busted Wasco pipe, informed them about it. A crew was dispatched to the area. They came, shut the pipes without even letting us know. At least they came. Let's hope that they get it, repaired and so on. Conrad, good afternoon to you. He says, true, Shelton, I agree. We voted for change and answers. We have men like RF, KASK, PJP. We should not be afraid to ask questions. All right. We're due for a break right now. Let's go for it. And when we come back, we'll take more of your calls and messages. Okay, we have a call on the line, Jaquan says. Hi, good afternoon. Real Issues. Takes a little while to connect. Is the caller there now? All right. We have another call. Let's take it. Yeah. Hi, caller. Are you there? Good afternoon.
Hi. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you. You're on the air. Go ahead.
Okay. There's a young guy, part of the executive of the blind welfare.
Speak up a bit more clearly.
A young guy, part of the Central Blind Welfare. He has a visual impairment, but he was telling me, since the youth economy started and all the different programs, he have attended so many of those programs, but it always seems to be the same set of people that are coming. He's not seeing the young people coming and take all that. And he said those people actually take you by the hand and help you, assist you. And he has gained so much just from that. And he was very, very emotional about that, because he was finding, where are all the young people like myself? All of this is being given to us. The funds is there. Right now he's into so many different little businesses, but he's wondering why others are not coming. And I think maybe to myself is that maybe they are not the people that are supposed to be out there publicizing it, giving information, going into the communities, going to the human resource, having different meetings to get those people to come. I don't think enough is being done to get people to come for all what that is being offered to them. Because like this young boy was telling me, he has done so much. He has done so much, and he's wondering why people are not coming. But maybe it's because they're not people out there reaching the people, reaching them all over. They need to do a lot of things. So many complaints sometimes are being said, and if I look at the people that's supposed to pick up where people speak, they don't do their jobs. Like people complain about the traffic all the time. You don't see traffic, or you still don't see traffic officers on the road. You heard that the people, the zombies at night, you don't see the city policemen around to see that those things are not done. There's so much that is done, and where are the people they are paying to make sure those things are not done? The policemen, you're there to enforce law. Do some of them do it? No. There's too much, and I think it's time they start getting very tough on people. You are paid to do a job, because when you don't do the job, who do you think looks bad? Who do you think looks bad? Is the person, the government that is there that looks bad when you don't do what you have to do. And too many people are getting away with sitting there, receiving a salary and not doing their work. They need to take a stand with those people. Too many. Plus, even the places like human services, all of those places, where are those
or for example, in agriculture, the extension officers, are we getting enough out of them in terms of going out there and helping the farmers with different things, that they're knowledgeable of, propagation and so on, to increase yields?
They're taking it for granted. I mean, that is what is have the other people on, just keep on lashing out and posting and saying, they will have to have an orange mask and all, because the people that are supposed to be doing the work, they're giving those people things, for them to take the government to task for, and I think that is not right. I think people are just taking too much for granted. You're in position, do your work.
Okay.
Do your work.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
All right, we are due for the break. We've been for a while, so let's take it now. When we come back, we'll be entertaining more of your calls and reading more messages.
The man, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
Why are you suffering from aches, pains and illnesses? When there's help for you. At Health Service Center, we offer a wide range of treatments that has been scientifically proven to help you with your aches, pains and illnesses. Our ICT machine is one of the most effective devices in the health field. It has shown positive results in many health problems, such as back pains, shoulder pains, migraine headaches, pain in the knees and legs, poor circulation, arthritis, diabetic neuropathy, numbness in the feet, strokes and sports injuries. ICT, repairs, rebuild. The power to heal, the future of pain relief.
If you recently submitted a claim to the National Insurance Corporation, you also need to submit your financial account information to get paid. All NIC benefit claims are now paid conveniently through your local financial institution. To provide your bank or credit union account information, simply log on to the NIC website at www.stlucianic.org. Click the Financial Account Information tab and fill out the form. It's that easy. You only submit once. Ensure you enter the details of an open active account in your name. If you do not have access to the internet, visit any NIC office to collect the financial account information form. Help us to help you. NIC, for the benefit of us all.
The man, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
The issues on Tuesday, the 12th of November. We have a caller waiting on the line. Good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon, son. How do you do?
I'm doing okay, and you?
Not bad, not bad. Mr. Daniel.
Yes?
It is a problem we have in St. Lucia, not today. Not yesterday, not year before, not 10 years ago, but donkey years ago. We have lots of St. Lucian in every ministry in the country. Their job is to frustrate people. When you go to the office, they frustrate you. Something that can be done so easily. They send you here, they send you there, they send you here, they send you there. Come back tomorrow. They don't care the little time you took off and you had no money to pay your passage to come down. Come back another day. They come to work with their home issues, they take it to work, they are angry at everybody that faces them. Bon, moi-même différent que tout le monde. Est-ce que là où moi viens faire ça fait moi? Pas frustrate moi. Parce que moi fait frustrated. Là moi viens oti ou, et c'est vous qui ni pour sauver moi. Pas frustrate moi. Là moi te ka planter figue. La te mis des trois moun la kay SLBG. Ça c'était travail yo. Yo jou me pété en l'air yon. Je bois te ka entre office li même l'air. Et m'a dit qui ça ka l'air, m'a dit je bois. Madame n'a ka dit moi allez là. Viens là, je bois, les m'a dit je bois que ça qui fait mais madame n'a dit moi. Il ka jiwo of course, ça pas plaisant. Mais ou mener les oh parce que c'est au qui ni pour sauver pour ka dire aller l'autre côté. C'est les jours baba moi ça il me liste il endosse licence moi pété de toi primo là avec il servi moi juste au jour qu'on dia nos best buddies. There are people in St. Lucia, we have a lot of that in St. Lucia. They frustrate people and the reason why a lot of people are not showing up to different places, to different offices, they don't want to be huffed. They don't want to be treated like they don't belong there.
À fond.
Oui, parce que on s'est pour faire trop contactier puis yo out. I don't want to. Well, moi-même, ni principe là, get them before they get you. So, on peut mettre off moi, parce que moi, oui.
Yes.
There are lots of that in St. Lucia. And we have to send them a message. Mm-hmm. You all have been paid to serve people. You all deserve to be respected. But anytime you start to make people look small or they don't belong, depuis que je viens chercher service par où, vous voulez offrir moi, je vais dans les mamans ou avec vos mamans ou les mamans. That's all. C'est pour ça que je dis. Plutôt que moi aller chercher pièce en rien pour pièce pour croire ça traiter moi mal. Moi préfère aller planter l'aine douce et puis s'il y a de l'eau.
Yes.
Ma brise mouche moi manière pour moi côté moi chercher l'aine douce et gwen s'il y a de l'eau pour planter yo.
Yes.
Some people will swallow it. Some people just cannot deal with it. Instead of going and allow somebody to off you, you just stay in your corner.
Yes.
Pas moi qui reste en corner. Mais moi vinn côté ou et moi réaliser j'ai joué qu'à jouer moi. Ma mouton là on vieux cheval. Have a good day, people.
All right, thank you very much. And I have to say this. I can't speak for all of them, but there are some wonderful people working alongside the ministers, either as their constituency office administrators or as attaches to them in their capacity as minister or whatever, who do a wonderful job. They listen to a program like this one and they hear something which falls within the ambit or ballpark of their representative or their minister's portfolios, and they'll very quickly, message me and say, can you give this person my number, or do you have a number for this person? Let me call them and, reach out to them and tell them there's XYZ ABC available for them. And I want to name two of them, an attaché to Honorable Joachim Henry. Her name is Kathleen Kadeh Andrew. That's one person who I can vouch, she'll hear something that pertains to the Ministry of Equity, Social Justice and Empowerment, or that, the representative for Castries South East can take up, and she will try to, find out how she can get in touch with the person so she can point them. I know a lady in Beaufort North, Miss Angie Kedu. You know, she is in the constituency office of Honorable Moses Jean-Baptiste, and she's the type who will send a little line, send a little pointer about what the person can do. And these are the types of people who try to facilitate and help people as a means of the support which I think they were engaged to do, to provide to their representative and their minister, to give people the little hand holding or the little pointers, to make a little call for them to see, because they recognize it is helping people. And if you look at it politically, that they're adding value. They're adding value to the appeal and the re-electability or electability of the representative. And it's a great job once people are being served. Don't talk for Honorable Richard Frederick. I mean, at the Castries City Council, you know, whether it's, you know, the mayor, Miss Yassi Steele, or Mr. Dax Noville, whoever it is, people who he has surrounded himself, who know when it is that they have to reach out and intervene and help people and facilitate getting things done. We have a call on the line. Good afternoon. Real Issues.
Yeah, good afternoon, Mr. Daniel.
Good afternoon to you.
Yeah, I was very surprised when I heard the leader of the opposition in some town hall meeting telling the people that if they were to allow the government to complete St. Jude Hospital, Crapo will smoke the pipe. That's what he said. So it is a project that is in the favor of the people. How could he make that statement? Yeah. He should have better said that Crapo will smoke his pipe. And the people have to know that such an individual is not working in the interest of the people, but his personal interest. And he also said that it should not be left to the government to call general elections. It only reveals that the colonial mentality of this man. He believes that he is above us. He believes that he has the right to rule because of his so-called pigmentation credentials. Yeah, thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Let him think whatever he wants. If his own class, by his account, didn't vote for him, I don't know why he feels he can have that expectation that the people of St. Lucia will support him when he clearly is trying to destabilize the country and is trying to hinder the progress of the country. He's trying to damage the country's development thrust. I don't know where he gets that kind of cockiness from. But I will repeat what I've said before. Government, Ministry of Health, contractor authorities pay very close attention to the security of almost all projects, but the St. Jude Hospital project, pay close attention to it. I hope the length of time that you all are taking to actually finish it has to do with the security apparatus that you all are installing. Cameras everywhere, so you know that people that they might have planted on the inside or bribed or given some kind of inducement and so on to mess up something, you know, to put some time delayed thing that might cause the place to burn down again before it is even finished and so on. Sabotage equipment, mess up things and so on, to create a crisis. Don't put anything past those people. They are showing a level of desperate. And I know you all can say what you all want. Oh, Shelton always there trying to dramatize things and trying to stir up paranoia and so on. You have to be paranoid. You have to be paranoid. Paranoia can be healthy at times. Watch everything closely. Watch your sensitive areas, your equipment. Who might go inside there and mess up some kind of generator or some kind of radiological equipment, maybe cause some damaging leak or whatever that will affect people, that you'll have to close down the whole hospital site for how many years and so on. You know, be very, very, very careful, because I do not know of any other example where one of the most pursued, desired, sought after objectives of developing a country, the completion of one of the main healthcare facilities which was damaged by fire, for an opposition which not too long ago was in government and expressed its own commitment and determination towards completing that hospital, to the point where one of them, a very senior person, said, if they do not get it completed by this term, we do not deserve to remain in office to be re-elected. But now the government is doing it. You have every kind of criticism. You have every kind of condemnation. You don't want it to continue. You telling people if they finish it, crap or smoke the pipe. Something about the government finishing that hospital deeply troubles and disturbs and unsettles and threatens the United Workers' Party. And we know when desperate people feel threatened, you know the kind of things they can do. Be very, very, very careful of those people. Watch everything. Get the cameras. Get the surveillance. Get the listening devices. Devote, maybe the box, that what it should be, a security center, a monitoring center, where you have people with listening devices listening to everything that is being said. You know, when people come and visit and so on, maybe they might be put up to something, you know, to sabotage the hospital. Believe you me, it doesn't take much, you know, to sabotage even a vast project like this one. Especially, like I said, when you have things pertaining to extreme things which is about radioactive material and this kind of thing. Be very careful. The kind of desperation I see. The way those people went after the citizenship by investment program to see if they could destroy it and so on. I mean, people, there's nothing they'll stop at. They will stop at nothing, because to them, any success by this government dooms and condemns them to remain in opposition, to be not electable, to be not favorably regarded by the people, and they do not want that to happen. 487-9849 and 4533-911, the numbers to dial. Let me go back to, where was I? The Facebook Live. All right. Deroy Destang says, I concur with you, Brother Shelton. It won't take much from us to assist the people who truly need the help. And do it, you know, because like I tell you, there are some enragés, empowers, agalou, avaricious, rapacious people who try to grab everything for themselves. And they're shameless. I mean, I have seen it with disgust. You have some kind of little community thing and so on to benefit the underprivileged. And there's some people who make it their business to show up and want to eat all the food, all the little, you know, finger foods and how they call them, canapes and whatever that they have there, whether it's a little, you know, fish finger or something, to take it all on the bread like they never eat and so on. And they just crowd up the space and crowd up the people who are ashamed to come forward with a little plate for something. I seen them, and before anything, you know, wrap this, and I suppose the people who serving are intimidated, see them as this gopi cha and so on, and they take away everything. People have a sense of shame about being poor, about being uneducated, about not being successful, and so they do not step forward to take advantage of things. They feel a sense of intimidation, and the people who are in the offices doing those things, they need to be sensitive to that. We have a call on the line. Good afternoon, Real Issues.
Good afternoon, and how are you?
I'm doing okay. How about you?
I'm there holding on. Let me ask you a question. How long again before its election?
I don't know. The Prime Minister is the one who knows that.
I mean,
according to the normal 5-year cycle, it should be in 2026, according to the normal. But the Prime Minister has the discretion and right under the Constitution to call elections at any time.
All right. So that means in 2 years' time, we are looking at 2 years' time.
Well, it's less than nothing.
But
it's less than nothing because we're in November already.
I want to send out a message that the UWPs do not have the U in front of them anymore. They are WPs, and I want to let them know that they are in opposition for a very, very, very long time. And they say maybe 2 years. Let me tell you, it can be 200 years, but Shas can never get back to in government again. That's all I had to say.
All right, thank you very much. I will be reserved about saying this never, you know. I mean, I understand that situations are different, but if you say 2 years, 2 years is a long time in politics. So what I think people need to do is to do right, you know. when the time comes to go and vote. To go and vote, okay? Thank you very much.
Yes, yes.
All right. Enjoy the rest of your day. True, well said. If you are not performing, give another person a chance to do the job, says Conrad. Jude Pokes, hello, good afternoon to you. He says, avoid here. And Shelton Daniel, they will have the soft drinks, then have the hard drinks, and those who don't use hard drinks, their throat remain dry. All right. We have another call on the line. Good afternoon. Real Issues. Hello.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon. And I noticed you were following us on the TV or radio. Try to listen to us and talk to us on the phone and lower your device, okay?
What I have to say, we are coming. Wait for us, we're coming.
All right, I'm waiting. Oh, boy. All right, Betty Howell, good afternoon to you. She says, you are so right, Shelton. You must help people get to the bureaucracy. Some people are afraid of bureaucracy. And we have to understand people's background. Somebody from some deep place in, whatever it is. I don't like to call names because it sounds like you are, calling places like people they are inferior. But they have a lot of times, they have the sense of inferiority about themselves. Going into a plush government office, air-conditioned, bright fluorescent lights and so on, and people walking about in their suits and so on, it can make them feel a little way.
Good afternoon, Sheldon.
Yeah, good afternoon to you.
Sheldon.
Yeah.
I don't know, but first time I ever see that kind of opposition in my life. I hear Guy Joseph say everybody that vote for SLP have blood on their hand for the sake of the health program that's going on there. Everybody dying and the health program is sucks. But when they was there, how it was? And what they had on their hand, ice, everybody was dying and the health section was so bad like that.
Yeah.
Sheldon.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm listening to you.
Let me tell you, Guy Joseph, say again last night, I had on choice, that if Alan Chasney, the leader of the opposition, don't go after SLP for the money and whatever they have, the passport money, he going to step down. I want Guy Joseph to step down and go and ask God for forgiveness. Bye-bye, Sheldon.
All right. Thank you very much. All right. Shas never helped that basketball player who needed an operation, says Conrad. And let me see. Yeah, many other people there. We have so many comments. I call a good afternoon. Real Issues.
Yo puis. Yo rapui. Yo pas ça dit rien encore, yo rapui. Okay.
All right. Thank you very much. Anthony Mondesi believes the media needs to interview the special prosecutor for an update. You really think that's going to happen? All right. Mr. Jeremy says, my brothers and sisters, let's protect our victory, people and country. And Maxine Isaac says, Shelton, I think you would be a very good advisor to our Prime Minister. You're very informative. Thank you very much. I'm flattered. We have a call on the line. Good afternoon. Real Issues. Hello. All right. Okay, this person disconnected. We still have time, I think, to take a couple more calls. 3 more minutes to go before 2 o'clock. Solange James reminds that civil servants are supposed to serve citizens and country. And Cecilia Francis says, Shelton, you're right, but the ones responsible to do the work frustrate you, making the government look bad. Good afternoon. Real Issues. You're on the air.
Good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon.
Shelton, you're right, but
Yeah, turn on the volume of your radio or TV, okay? And talk to us and listen to us through the phone. All right, okay. That seemed like the same person who made it back, Yeah, all right. Like I said, we probably can take 2 more calls. Depends on how long you go. Civil servants must show policy implementation in order for us to move forward. Romuald Wilson says, a message to my PM, take the action now. And someone else says, lots of clarification is needed in educational. Not exactly sure what that was. One says, my government is being so much of a nice guy. Good afternoon to you, Dr. Carlton Augustine. Nice to have you with us as usual, supporting and making your contributions. We have to do the right thing in order to win the next election. All right. Cecilia Allen. It says that my daughter Kenson's administrative attaché, that child listened and has assisted so many. And we need people like that. I think the constituency offices are key. They're going to be key for people who are motivated to not just help people, but to tell them, okay, because let's be fair to the people in those government offices. It's difficult for them to just having other things to do, having meetings to attend, workshops to go out. A lot of times it's not just that they're always out, legitimate reasons. And people just show up and they want, something, application or something processed for them and all of that. And they didn't have a conversation to know what they were supposed to bring. So they come, they don't have a form of ID, they don't have this or that or the other or so on. It's better if, for example, someone at the constituency office can make the call and say, okay, what's the best day for a gentleman to come and so on, to talk to you? Who is the person, the go-to person for him, etc.? What does he need to walk with, Tell him walk with his ID card if he doesn't have it, his passport or something like that. Okay, come and ask for Miss Jean, so the person goes and they know it's Miss Jean at 9 o'clock or 11 o'clock on Thursday morning that they're supposed to go and they're supposed to walk with that. And, maybe who knows, a little sensitization, ahead of time that the person can come and they can be dealt with. I believe that the constituency and district and community offices of various types can be of help in that way and so on, to give people that little push and prod and encouragement that they need. You may have so many good things going, but people not taking it up. Like that person who told me about the scholarships. They had about 14 scholarships available, Taiwanese thing, and so far only 2 people, showed up for it. This is the kind of thing. Now, maybe it is in fields that people are not really interested in, but someone can tell them, look, man, you may not be interested in that, but propagation is something. If you learn it, you can be somebody in great demand. You can show people. Okay, we got to wrap up now, folks. Thank you so very much for being part of it. Until tomorrow, Shelton Daniel signing out.
2024 were Double Daily Grand 8, 16, 17, 18. Big 4 3, 3, 4, 7. Big 4 Multi-X 3X. Pick 2 3, 4. Pick 2 Multi-X FP. 1 off 4, 7, 2. Lucky 3 0, 4, 9. Lucky 3 Multi-X 2X.
The man, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2.